Hey y'all, what is going on? What's up? How y'all day? How y'all week been going? You already know who I am, but for those that don't know, it is Let's Chat with Quin. And I actually had a couple things that I wanted to talk about. I'm going to make this a two-part video, just in case if you want to, listen to one story, not the other, or both, or whatever, but I'm going to separate these videos today. Before I get started, I definitely want to just send my condolences out to the families of Angie Stone and also the families of Gene Hackman. I just want to know before I start this video, I am not here to cast any judgment on anyone, or I'm not here to place blame on anyone or anything. I am just simply stating the series of events that happened with both of these unfortunate situations, and I'm just shedding my opinion about it and how I feel. So again, I don't want to offend anyone or seem like I am placing any kind of blame or anything on anyone. Like, this is literally just for entertainment purposes only. That is it. I'm not an FBI agent. I'm not anybody that has any type of credentials to where I'm qualified of any type of investigation. However, I am a human and I am entitled to my own opinion. And that's what we are going to talk about today because, guys, I don't know about y'all, but both of these unfortunate situations happen within a short period of time. And both of them just are not normal to me. I mean, given Angie, yes, it's a car crash, so yes, that does happen, but it's just the series of events that are circulating around it. It's just kind of, I don't know, it's a little strange. So the first part of this video is going to cover the series of events that happened with Angie Stone. Rest in peace to her. She was a great artist. I'm going to give you a little background of who she is and what she did, just in case you guys are unfamiliar. We're going to get right into it. So basically, Angie Stone, she got her start back actually in the 70s. I came across her late 90s, early 2000s, but she really started in the 70s. She had a neo, so I don't know if neo soul was really like a genre in the 70s, but she did have a group called The Sequence back then, which was signed to Sugar Hill Records. Now, I'm going to go down the list of who she was signed to, and why that matters. So she was originally signed to Sugar Hill Records. And then later on, I want to say the early or late 90s, probably around the time when she came out with her first single, she was brought to Arista Records and introduced to Clive Davis. Now, if you don't know who Clive Davis is, he is a major label head. She was brought to Clive Davis, who was at the time the head of Arista Records. He's not currently the head of it anymore because they have a age policy. So he basically was too old to work there anymore or be the head of the company anymore. So Angie did go on to write a lot of songs, do a lot of songs. She even started going into movies. One of my favorite movies, Fighting Temptation, she was in that and she did a hell of a job. She also was in TV shows. I'm not sure if anybody's aware of that. She was not only casted later on in Girlfriends, but she actually did the theme song. So not sure if anybody knew that, but yes, that was Angie. So that is literally like in a nutshell what her whole career was. Like, she did amazing things with amazing people. And I highly recommend you go listen to her music, see what movie she was in, get a little bit more information about Angie in the background. But the reason why I felt the need to bring this up, because I want to say about 5 months prior to her, passing away, um, she started. Now, Angie didn't take me as the type of person that would be like on the internet, because if you think about it, you don't see her, posting TikTok dances or doing this and doing that. Like, she didn't seem like she really was heavy on the internet. But about 5 months prior to this, she started making YouTube videos. And most of her, I went and looked. I didn't watch all of them, but I, skimmed through just to get a little bit of context of what the videos were about. Because the title of the videos were like revealing secrets. And then it would have like pictures of who I would think she's revealing secrets about in the video. But she was doing this for a good 5 months. And she started looking back at, everything that she did. And she started realizing that she wasn't paid any royalties. She wasn't mentioned in songs that she wrote. And she wasn't being paid the publishing. So she started speaking out about this. She started voicing that, she is owed this, because I agree. Like, you put in the hard work. You're the voice on the song. You are also the person that's writing these songs. Like, you are entitled to that. You are definitely entitled to that. So she was voicing that she wasn't receiving any of that. She did start mentioning that she was trying to reach out to the record label, which she went from Arista to Universal Music Group, which is like, if you look up Universal Music Group, they literally have everybody. Like, everybody is signed to this label. This is actually the same label that Drake is suing right now. So yeah, they got everybody. So yeah, she was basically bringing this up. And now when I did my research, the CEO of Universal Music Group is Lucian Grange. Now, I know people may not be familiar with the backgrounds of these record labels and who owns them and whatnot, but you might have heard this name within the past, I want to say year, probably, maybe less than that, due to him being mentioned in the Diddy lawsuit, which, again, we will get to that. Like, one of these days, we are going to touch on, no Diddy, but we're going to talk about Diddy and his situation. But long story short, he is basically the CEO of Universal Music Group. And, I looked up any types of news or, what type of record company is Universal Music Group? Like, are they reputable? Do they treat their people fairly? Like, what is the problem? Like, why is it that this woman was not paid the money that she's owed? Like, do they have a history of this, or what is the case? So what I found was, back in 2006, there was allegations that the record label was paying radio stations to play certain artists' music or not play certain artists' music, which, if you ever hear of artists referring to payola, that's what that is. Pretty much paying radio stations to play or to not play certain artists' music. And that's really not allowed. Like, you're not allowed to do that. The radio stations should play whatever music they see fit for their radio station, or whatever music is being requested by the fans, the people calling in, the people that are tuning into this radio station. Those are the people that should have a say of what is being played on the radio. Not because the record label is forcing you to play these songs. So they were being accused of that. I say allegedly because I really want to be careful of how I say things on this app. But apparently it was found to be so, because it is said that there was a lawsuit paid out for $12 million for said incident. So clearly, and it was settled out of court. So obviously there was something going on. So after that, then there was a mysterious fire at the Universal Music Group studio back in 2008. I never found out how this fire started, what caused it, or anything like that, but allegedly in this fire, there was a lot of masters. Now, masters, from my understanding, is the original hard copy of the album or song that is being made. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I assume it to be. I should have looked up the definition, but I didn't. Don't crucify me. But pretty much all the masters of a lot of, very important artists that were burned. I found that Nirvana, Eminem, The Roots, even Tupac's masters were allegedly destroyed in this fire. So when I mentioned Tupac, it also came up that a lawyer filed a class action lawsuit in the behalf of the Tupac's estate and other artists, like their wives or children, on the behalf of them, to investigate the nature of this fire and to potentially whatever was lost to recompensate these people. Like, basically, the lawyer filed a suit saying somebody needs to be held responsible for this. There needs to be a further investigation as to how this fire started. Like, was it started on purpose? Was it an accident? But either way, the record label, the record studio should be held accountable and compensate these families that when members of these artists pass away, like Tupac, or members that are still entitled, they still are getting paid for these songs playing, whether the masters was burned up or not. Like, they still need to benefit from this for their hard work. So pretty much I'm saying all of that to say this. If there are records of this record company paying radio stations to play or not play other artists' music, if they are already having a lawsuit put against them, allegedly, that there are masters that were destroyed and the artists that they possibly belong to are not being compensated for those masters, if they're already having a history of that, is it crazy to think that Angie Stone was not paid any money for her publishing, her royalties, and there's songs that she's written that she's not getting credit for? Like, it makes sense why she was speaking out about this, because it's like, Angie Stone, once again, as a solo artist, started in the late 90s. She started in the late 90s. Keep in mind that before this incident happened, she was doing a show. So it's not like she's not performing or she's still not relevant or she's still not out here doing stuff. Like, she's still out here, and she still, after all this time, is not being paid what she's supposed to be paid. That is crazy. Like, that's just crazy. So, again, I'm not casting any judgment. I'm not making any assumptions. I'm just telling you guys what I found after this situation, because I'm going to be honest, I didn't know Angie Stone had videos like this on Facebook. I mean, on YouTube. I didn't know she was still performing. Like, yeah, I knew she was still, alive and everything, but I didn't know, I wasn't really too up on a lot of these things going on. But there are videos on YouTube, like I said, of Angie expressing herself about what was going on and how she feels about what she's entitled to. And you guys can go and look this up yourself. I'm only reiterating what she said. She already said to herself that she is owed this money, and the label will do anything to not pay her. I felt like that was strange that she would say that. Like, it's one thing saying like, oh, they're just greedy people and they whatever. But for her to say that she felt like they would do anything to not pay her, and then go on to say that she already felt like there was some type of attack on her life, because I didn't really get how much prior to her making this video that this other incident happened. Long story short, she also mentioned the fact of she one day was having some issues breathing. So she went to the ER for what I'm assuming that when she went to the ER, they probably had to draw blood. Whatever needle they used to give her any type of medicine or draw blood or anything along those lines, apparently the needle was contaminated, because she alleges that she contracted a blood infection that placed her in the ICU. She passed out at some point as well with all this. So she feels like somebody tried to do something to her already. So it's strange to me that she's saying this, and then we fast forward to her incident, and okay, yes, cars crash all the time. Car accidents happen all the time. But sometimes the way things happen, it's like, how did that even happen? Like, it was said that she was in a Sprinter van with 8 other people. So that's 9 people, including her. And she's the only one that this happened to. I'm just saying, it just doesn't sound right. It just don't sound right to me. And I'm not wishing that someone else, like, I'm not wishing that anyone else lost their life or anything. Like, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, it doesn't make sense that 8 people, and it's not like they are in a compact car. Like, yes, it's not like a whole bunch of room, but it just, I don't know. It was just strange to me. And yes, it was noted that, yes, she had type 2 diabetes. So honestly, like, I'm gonna keep it real. When it first popped on my screen on Facebook, I didn't believe it, because sometimes on the internet they be playing, oh, such and such has passed away, and it never happened. Like, and I don't like that, because I feel like you're putting negative stuff out into the air. You're putting negative energy and you're manifesting negative things. It's like, why would you even play around like that? So being as though the internet does that, I didn't believe that she passed away until I started seeing people posting about it and this and that. And I'm like, the first thing I think is like, okay, maybe, maybe she, because she had diabetes, I didn't know that, but maybe she had something along those lines, like natural causes. She just had some type of sickness or whatever. I thought it was something along those lines. So then when I seen that it was a car crash, I'm like, damn, that's fucked up. Like, that's crazy. Then when I read and see what was going on, this happened early in the morning. And then on top of that, like I said, it was 8 other people in the car, and that's the only person that happened to. But it just doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make any sense. And like I said, I send my condolences out to the family, and it's just an unfortunate situation. And I pray that this was literally just an accident. It wasn't done intentionally or anything like that. I just hope this is not what it looks like. That's just what it was, and it's not what we think it is. I really hope that. But I'm definitely going to be, tuning in like I always do to see what happens after this situation. And again, I just feel like it is unfortunate. It's sad that happened to her. It really is. But tune into my next video where we're going to cover the Gene Hackman, and I'll see y'all later.